Many congratulations, first of all, Gary. What's the mood been like this week? When did they get back?
It's very good. Of course, the mood's got to be very good, hasn't it? You know, everybody likes winning things, especially when it improves your life, as it were. You know, we've all moved up. The players have earned a little bit more money, and they get a little bit more next year and going into the league. But it's the pride, really. I think that's why everyone's got a smile on their face. And for a couple of weeks beforehand, we were talking about, you know, calling each other champs, and that's been the word of the week, really. And it's nice, and the lads have grown a couple of inches. You know what I mean? They're all you know, walking with their heads held high. So the mood's been great, and we're looking forward now just to get back into it. We give them Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off, which is unusual for me. But we got them in. They had quite a big session yesterday, Wednesday, to make sure that the champagne was out of the system. And to be fair, all of them come back and look good. So we'll do a bit of organisation today, and then we'll be ready for tomorrow.
When you first came in, you 10 points behind Woking, I think, at the top of the table. I mean, you never made any secret that you wanted to go up automatically. Did you really believe that you could do it like this?
Well, I believed we could progress and improve. Otherwise, I obviously wouldn't have come. But you can't look too far ahead, wish your life away, and say to everybody we're going to win the league, because that didn't look possible at the time. But in my mind, I felt we was enough. We wasn't a great deal of points away from being in a playoff place. So I thought, well, we'll give it a go for the playoffs in my own head. But then obviously we had a fantastic start and had a few good winning runs, and found ourselves pretty quickly chasing a top spot. And thank God the lads responded to everything that we were doing. The crowd responded, the fans responded fantastic, because without them we wouldn't have done it either, because there wouldn't have been that surge of enthusiasm from everybody that players thrive on when they play. So you know, everybody deserves a little bit of a pat on the back, and a little bit of we say thank you to everybody, because everybody played a part.
In my naivety, I thought you'd probably end up changing most of the team. In fact, you've only actually brought in 5 players, I think, over the whole course of the season.
Do you know what? I'm not even sure it's 5, is it? I mean, 2 of the Bristol lads are already here.
Frankie plus Jamie and Kalala.
Yeah, 3. Frankie,
you're going 2 from...
Oh, that's right.
2
from
Bristol
City.
City.
You're right. I'm sorry. I apologise. The champagne ain't gone out of my system yet. Yeah, we did. And it was important that obviously 10, 12 went out. So we had to make sure we had a squad. And even now we're sort of crossing our fingers. I took a bit of a chance in having a small squad, because they were the ones that I trusted and could rely on, and they were the ones that were producing. So I didn't want to change any dynamics of the dressing room by bringing in somebody that we didn't know, or I didn't know. So anyway, we've gone with it, and a couple of times we haven't had a full 5 on the bench, but it seems to have worked for us to you know, give the baton, if you like, to this group of 17 players. And
pretty much all of them are signed on for next season anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They are. It's just Jamie Sendles is the only one that hasn't signed on as yet. Not for any other reason other than that he's had a few little knocks and niggles, and we're just making sure that he's going to be fit for the coming season.
So you know you're going to be in National League next season. Have you already started the job of building an even stronger squad for that? Yeah,
we'll only have next year, if we take away, hopefully we can keep a couple of the Bristol lads, but we don't know yet. But we have to plan to be without them, so we have to look for new loans, and we've got a few names. We've had a few chats with different people to see different people's agents, you know, their representatives, to see if they'd be interested, and you know, we think we're pretty comfortable for next year already, and just got to add 3 or 4 more. You know, you're looking for marquee players now to go up to the next level. You know, and that's what we're doing. Pete's working very hard. watching 2 games a day almost at the moment all over the country to find players for us for next year, and he normally does, so I can rely on him, that's for sure.
Have you already talked to the chairman about your budget for next season?
I knocked on his door, but he didn't say come in. I think he knew it was a budget meeting. No, listen, I don't need to know budgets, to be honest with you. All I do, I know the situation with clubs at this level, and I know what they can and can't afford depending on the gate. The gate has helped us, of course, over the last month. It's helped us sort of look a little bit higher in the wage salary players, if you like. And all I'll do, and I've agreed with George Edwards, that if the right one comes along, I'll mention it to him. I'll say we've got a chance of bringing this player in, and we'll talk about it. So that's the best way of doing it, really, because you'd pay over the top for a Wayne Rooney, wouldn't you, if he was available? So it's best to talk to the board rather than say, well, they won't afford him. So I'll just keep pushing and probing, and so far it's been the best way of doing it.
Sure. Back to this season, I think there are a total of 7 Torquay United records you could beat this season. You've already beaten 2, which is the biggest FA Cup win and most consecutive wins. I mean, are those the sort of things you're striving now? I think it could be most goals in the season, most points in the season, and surprisingly, fewest goals conceded in the season. Yeah,
no, it's nice, and Dave obviously mentions these records to us as he's old enough to know all the records, and he was there in 19 whatever it was, 07, 1899 wasn't it when he started. And it's nice to hear about them, but they're things that come up. You can't, yes, it'd be great. The more records we beat means the more successful we've been. So we appreciate people letting us know, but we won't be out here training today and say to them, if we don't let in another goal, then we'll break another record. We're just going out to score as many as we can and not let in goals anyway.
Sure. What are you expecting from Chippenham?
Well, they got, with all due respect, I think their team's better than their pitch. And maybe the pitch has held them back a little bit because it's, with all due respect, it's a poor pitch. And we've seen it on the video, we've seen it firsthand. Me and Downsy have been down to Chippenham a couple of times. So it's probably a leveler for them as well. So we've got to manage the game because of the pitch, but because obviously they've got nothing to lose. It'd be nice for them as a team that can't go up or can't go down to beat the league champions. That gives them a little feather in their cap. So we just got to go there, enjoy our fans that are turning up, that bought tickets in their numbers, and we want to see the season out, getting some wins, and everyone feeling great going into the summer and looking forward to next season.
Injury-wise, obviously no Rory. How are you looking otherwise?
Ace has still got a slight problem. We're having that X-ray again pretty soon. He tried to train yesterday and he just felt it a little bit. So if it's only bruising, then it's just his pain threshold, so he'll be fine. Hope he'll be back hopefully with us again for a place on the bench, because you can't play 90 minutes. So we've still just about got a squad and a bench. So so it's looking okay.
Normally, if with the manager in this sort of position, I'd ask whether you're going to look at any of the fringe players, but I suppose the only one that you might think about is young Olaf, maybe. Yeah,
I've got to do it right, and he is a big option because he's trained well, he's doing very well. Whether there's a 90 minutes in a 17-year-old is another thing, but he will get his time, and it might be Friday, it might not be. We haven't really decided that yet, but he will certainly play a big part in the game.